led to the Netherlands having an even more comfortable match. And yeah, so Croatia, in all fairness, they did really well to win the bronze after that and to recover mentally, but also physically from such a turbulent match.
Yeah, the Croatians beating a very strong Russian team in that bronze medal match. But now it's time for the gold. Here are the French. Sophie Daudemont, bags of experience. Jean-Philippe Bouche, who has just shot. Now, they'll be disappointed, the French men's team. What kind of psyche is Jean-Philippe going to bring into this match?
I'm hoping that he will be even more motivated now, since he just lost.
Well, big support for the Dutch team, your teammates, Chef.
Yeah. Once again, I'll try to not be too biased, but of course I have my preferences of who is going to win this match.
And there's Jody Vermeulen and Mike Schlusser. Mike got the gold medal in the individual tournament in Berlin earlier on this season. And there's one very loud Dutch spectator, Chef.
Yeah, I'm not sure if she's Dutch or if she's Mexican and living in the Netherlands, but loud is, I think, the best word to describe it.
Yeah, sounds like a South American football commentator. So the French will shoot first here, the gold medal match.
And Jody might have something to settle with Sophie Daudemont, since they shot against each other in Berlin, and Sophie won that match.
It's a bit of an unusual get-up for Daudemont here. A great start, though, from the French archer. As you can see, she's wearing her jacket half on, half off.
Yeah, so you don't want your jacket interfering with your shot or being torn apart by your string. So what you can see in her outfit is that you can put one sleeve behind your back, so you have your shooting area free, and then the rest is all covered against the rain. It's not the most comfortable, but shooting in the rain isn't comfortable in the first place.
No. And Jody Vermeulen here to shoot first for the Dutch team. Great first arrow from her as well. So with only two archers in the mixed teams, they both shoot 2 arrows each.
Just they have an Irish judge, so he should be used to rain as well. That's the wrong target, but it's called as a 10, so we'll just believe the scores. Seems disappointed, but there's no big deal in shooting a 9 here.
Yep, 39 out of a possible 40 for the French team. Maximum required for the Dutch to draw level.
She was not pleased with that shot. I think it went off low, and it is low, but you can see in her shot that she reacted to where her sight pin was at the moment of release. Nice calm shot. Mike will definitely adjust the sight. Yeah, there you go.
So for spectators new to the sport, what exactly are they doing when they adjust the sight? What is it physically that they do?
The sight is, yeah, of course it's a sight, so the thing you aim with, and there's rails on the sight. And if you turn a knob on your sight, you can adjust where it sits on the reel. So if you're shooting 2 high arrows, you move your sight up a little bit, so you have to drop your hand a bit to aim in the middle again. So there's the sight. It's a good shot of it. if you move that thing up on the reel,
yep.
You will hit lower. So you can adjust that to your personal preference and make your arrows hit better.
Well, it's almost like they're listening to you, Chef. They put a nice close-up of the site there for everyone to see.
And I would say Mike, his skill level is so high that if he shoots 2 arrows high in the 10, he will definitely adjust his sight because he wants to hit the absolute middle of the target.
Nicknamed Mr. Perfect.
With good reason.
Net eroverheen.
Just over.
9,7.
Trailing by 2 points, the Dutch will need to put a marker down in this second end.
There you go.
Volle X, Mike. Nee, beter dan dat worden is het niet. Dat klopt.
I've trained a lot in the past with Mike because he lived at the Olympic Training Center where I also live, and I've seen him break so many arrows by just shooting them against each other in the middle of the target.
X.
And I'm sure if Sophie does this a lot, she breaks a lot of arrows as well.
Ouais, super.
Well, consistency is the key to this game. The French putting their arrows, well, almost in the same hole.
Yeah, it seems like they're doing a competition of who can shoot it closest to the middle. Then again, that's what this sport is about.
Zit erbij. Zit nog steeds hoog. Stoef er maar een beetje op. Hè.
Jodie is consistent. She's just consistently just out of the 10.
Yeah, just up and to the left for Vermeulen.
Keurig, Mike.
And look at that for consistency from Mr. Perfect. Still a big opportunity for the French team here. On for a maximum.
Ouais, super.
Oh, she held on to that one for a long time there, Chef, but still got away with a 10.
Sometimes you have to hold it a little longer if you want to have a controlled shot. It's unclear to me why, but as an archer, I recognize the struggle of. I shoot a 4x40. That's really impressive.
It is impressive indeed. The French get the perfect 40 out of 40 in the second end and now lead by 3. Well, unlike the men's and women's team matches, the French are starting to pull away from the Dutch.
They are, yeah. They've shot 2 arrows outside of the X-ring. One of them being a 9, but the other one was still a 10. So as I was saying before, sometimes as an archer, without a clear reason, you just have to hold it a little bit longer to hold it more steady or something, and to shoot it with more confidence. But it's not always better to hold it longer. So normally if you can get your normal rhythm, that's the best, but sometimes there's just something in your shot that makes you want to hold it a little bit longer.
Well, the Dutch will shoot first here in the third end. Clarity of mind so important in this sport where the margin of error is absolutely tiny. A couple of centimetres at the target face is probably fractions of a millimetre on the shooting line. And what we need here from Jodie Vermeulen is some calm, steady shooting to get the Dutch back into this one.
And again, not a bad shot, but it's just under the 10 ring. was not happy with it, but it still scores a perfect score. It went off left and it hit left. Let's see if Sophie can shoot another one of those X's. It's not an X, but I think it touches.
Well, that's possibly going to go to a measure. If it's touching the line, it will be given a higher score, the highest score.
From my vantage point, it looked like a 10, but it's being scored as a 9 asterisk, so...
So we'll definitely have a measure. Well, as that started to affect the concentration of the teammate there. Bush there shooting a very clear 9.
Rechts de 9,5.
Yeah, with that shot, you could see the reaction upon release, that she tried to push her bow to the left to get the arrow into the 10, but often you're just a little too late with the correction, so it will just hit where you aimed.
Linkse 10 tegen de lijn aan,
Really
Mike.
close, but difficult to... It's called a 10, but I'm not super sure about it.
No, that did look a 9 as well. We're definitely going to have a measure there. You can see the asterisks against the first arrow for the French team.
Juste au-dessus.
And that's a clear 9. And she is clearly disappointed.
Well, we haven't seen any 8s, but it's an 8 that's the minimum required for the French to stay level with the Dutch.
Ouais, c'est bon.
And it's a 10 that's scored. We will go to a measure though, and I think that, well, you suspected, Chef, that we might see one of the Dutch arrows measured, but we're certainly going to see a French arrow measured.
Yeah. I think it might be a 3-point or maybe even a 4-point difference now, depending on the arrow of Mike. You can see that they're really close to the line. And then Sophie's arrow seems to be in from here.
It's right on the line, isn't it?
Yeah. And they didn't need magnifying glasses, so I think it was pretty clear. You can see from this vantage point that it is actually a 10.
Well, it was a 3-point lead for the French team, and it stayed as a 3-point lead after the scores.
I think the French arrow is still going to be upgraded.
I haven't had confirmation just yet.
Now we do.
And there we go. The 3-point lead turns into a 4-point lead. It doesn't seem like much, but the way that the French have been shooting, other than that last end, well, they've only dropped a point in the first 2 ends.
Yeah, and 2 points in the third end. And that's altogether not enough for the Netherlands to get back. So
well, they'll shoot
all
first.
they can do is just shoot really good shots and hope that the French team will miss in being shooting 9s and 8s.
Yeah, it doesn't look likely, so the Dutch will have to put down a marker in this final end, early doors, to put the pressure on the French.
Yeah.
And even then, you'd still probably fancy the French to take the gold medal here.
It's going to be very unexpected if the Netherlands still win this.
A good start from Jody Vermeulen and lots of support from the Dutch contingent in the crowd. And they'll need Mr. Perfect to be on the money as well.
And he is.
10 centralnie, Holandia.
Ouais,
eagle-eyed, calmness personified.
Allez,
Sophie
Sophie.
Daudemont
Francja 10
has
centralnie.
completed half of her job.
Ouais, dès que ça accompagne. Ouais, Jean-Philippe. Sur le cordon à 10 heures.
It's a good 10.
Francja 10.
Perfect moment to shoot a good 10 as well.
4 points will differ. Favorable front.
Well, nothing to lose now for the Dutch.
No, 4 points and 2 arrows would mean that the French would almost both have to shoot outside of the goal, which is very unlikely. But it would be nice for the Netherlands to close this off with a 40.
Yeah, a perfect score on the cards here for the Dutch.
Goed, Mike.
And look at that, Mr. Perfect, nailing a 40 out of 40 for the Dutch team.
Perfekcyjne strzelanie.
Can't do any more than that.
Holandii.
And 153 is not a terrible score. It's just that the French are really, really on the money today.
Well, Sophie Daudemont could make it a perfect score for the French as well.
Ça bougeait pas là.
Allez, Francja 10.
She has been absolutely spectacular throughout, just dropping a single point in the whole match.
To be fair to Jean-Philippe, he only
Ouais, super, bravo.
missed 2, so he didn't do terrible either.
Well, a perfect score from the Dutch followed by a perfect score from the French. They took control of the match. On a measure, they opened up the lead and they held on to it. The French are the compound mixed team European champions of 2018, and what a spectacular performance they put in.
Yeah, really, really good shooting. 157 is a good match in any circumstance,
Yeah,
let alone in a final match.
Yeah, of a possible 160, shooting a 153 is not bad, but when you're up against the French team, who shoot 157, it's not good enough for gold. So the French will be on top of the podium very shortly, in fact. The Dutch, well, they shot well, but Jody Vermeulen and Mike Schlusser will be on the second step of the podium here in Legnica. And like you say, Chef, Sophie Daudemont was absolutely superb, but having come off the back of, well, almost throwing away the gold medal in the men's the men's team compound event, Jean-Philippe Bruch also shot very well.
He did indeed, yeah. He pretty much just followed Sophie in her shooting, and that was enough.
Yeah, and the high fives, hugs and kisses for the French. They will be on top of the podium here in Legnica very shortly.